Hello, friends. Hope you're doing well. Today we got cola flavored Zevia because I thought I was getting the cherry cola one, but I got the cola one instead, which is the wrong one. Also, Bear's here. There he is. It's still good. It's just not as good as the cherry flavored one. Anyway, let's talk about goals. It's goal setting season. This last year, I've done a terrible job with the goals. Not even gonna look at the results because it's all not great. But next year, oh boy, look out! Next year, we're gonna punch next year in the face. We're gonna be like, hey, next year, bap, boom. Somebody said that like hand stuff, so bap, bap, bap. POV, you're getting punched in the face. I've been in like 4 fights ever. One of them was a hockey fight. It wasn't very interesting. I was like 12. Some kid, I was playing goalie. And some kid cross-checked me and I got up and I just started. I think I got 2 minutes for reffing. Interestingly enough, if you're a goalie and you get a penalty, somebody on the ice has to serve the penalty for you. Goalies don't go in the penalty box. But goalies can't be ejected. So there's that. I don't know what happens if they kick the goalie out. There's only one goalie on the team, though. I've never seen that happen. Play without a goalie, I guess, or you forfeit. Anyway, so goals. I like to do 10 every year. These are my 10 for 2022. I think they're good goals. I'm feeling good about them. If you got feedback, I'd love to hear your feedback. So basically, when I was setting out to make these goals, I wanted to get off the internet doom scroll train, which I've been doing way too much of, which has not been good for the mental health. I want to improve my health. I want to improve my finances. I wanted to set simple goals. And this year I'm trying something new that I call feats of strength, which are just kind of like pass-fail goals. Like either I can do it or I can't do it. And there's not it's not a process goal because detailing the process is messy. So it's just kind of like, do this thing. Whatever it takes to get there, and then do it. Excuse me, sorry. So anyway, on to the goals. These are my goals for 2022. If you have not written down goals, I suggest you write down some goals. 6, good number to start for. Goals are better than resolutions, because resolutions are kind of just like, I don't want to be on the internet as much, which is like, how do you quantify that? You can't. So instead, you should find something else to do with your internet time. Pick a number that you think is doable, but a little crazy, and then try to do that. And even if you miss, you'll probably still be better off. Anyway, so that said, here are my goals for 2022. Goal number 1. These are in no real order. These are just the order which I wrote them down. I want to max out my IRA. Because I'm late. I'm 35 now. I'm late to the game on the retirement fund. I've got a good chunk of money in the stock market, but I also have some credit card debt, so it balances. The money in the stock market and my bank account is more than the credit card debt, so I could wipe it out. I could just take all this stock out and just pay off that, be it 0. So my net worth is actually above by I don't know, a couple grand probably. And then when you add all my stuff that I own, it's probably worth a lot more. Like these cameras, all my camera stuff's probably worth like 20 grand. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. With the IRA, you can put in like $6,000 a year. I think this year I've contributed like $2,500 or $3 grand. So I want to improve that. You try to just max that out every year. Get those tax benefits, which I don't really understand that well. I need my accountant to explain that to me. But I know I need to start at 35. I'm buying the game. I know a lot of people don't have any money saved for retirement at my age, but then there's plenty of other people that have like $100,000 already, and I am not. I think in my retirement account, I have like 8. I don't even think it's 8,000. I think it's more like 5,000. So it's not doing great. Yeah. So if I can get, putting 6 in would essentially double my retirement funds. And then if I put in another 6, and then, over time, the compound interest will start to take effect. And then hopefully in the next, assume you retire at 65, 75, somewhere in there. That's 30 years to compound. If I can put 6, that's $200,000 plus compound interest. It should be a good amount. Plus, what I have in my brokerage account is actually more like 30,000. So like that money will obviously, right now that's kind of earmarked for a house that I want to buy. So get the house first, and then focus on retirement. Once we get the first step, then the second step. But at the same time, I feel like I need to be trickling in some retirement to let the interest take effect. Because time in the market, that's your best asset. Anyway, speaking of debt, I want to get that to half or less. I've been not feeling great these last 2 years. I'm sure everybody has. So my spending has been out of control. Even though I made a good amount of money this year, I feel like, especially with I had a pretty big win in the stock market with the whole GameStop thing, and I should have just X'd out my debt then. I could have paid it all off when it was low, but it's slowly been, and it's more just, I'm eating out too much. I'm buying too much stuff that's not super important to my life. So I can curtail spending. I can earn a little more. So there's two sides to that coin there, which are really the only two sides you can do. And maybe I could be a little smarter managing the credit, figuring that whole thing out. And of course I had some medical bills, and it's I keep having to go to the doctor, and when I'm sick, when I'm hurt, I can't play hockey, so I'm depressed. And then I bought a bass amp so I could play bass again, which has been a lot of fun, which is great, because I need to figure out, and I've also bought some tools for woodworking, which I haven't really gotten to use much yet, because I haven't really set up a station for it, but I'm kind of excited, because I need some things to do that are outside of the camera video world, that career, that non-stop hustle mindset, which it's not even that, it's just the inability to turn my brain off. And the only time I can really turn my brain off is when I'm out skating, when I'm out playing hockey. So I need to be able to recreate that even when I get hurt, because I've been hurt all year. So trying to fix that out, trying to also get out of the hurt, being better about mobility, flexibility stuff, and taking care of my blood sugar, which I haven't really been this year, because depression and food feels good when you're depressed. So anyway, I want to get that debt back down, get it. Ideally I'd like to pay it all the way off, but I'd have to make a lot more money next year to pay it off, because I think my debt is probably, if it's not the highest it's ever been, it's pretty close to it. So that doesn't feel good. You hate to see that, and I know that's going to make it hard to buy a house. So I really want to get that taken care of, if I can get it down to a reasonable level. That I feel a lot better about that. And then also just the interest, the compound interest is working against me there. So I want interest to work for me. I want my money to work for me. I don't want to be future spending on all these things that are not totally impulse buys, but more or less impulse buys that I didn't actually need. Anyway, on to making more money. I want to produce 500 pieces of content. If you've been following me long enough, I have several YouTube channels. I've got this one. I've got a white noise channel. I have a movie review channel I haven't done much with. And then I have I don't know what to call it. It's I don't really know what it is yet. I was doing tutorials for filmmaking and photography, but I don't know if that's going to be the focus, because there's so much of that already. And there's so many people that are so much smarter than me that I think I do a pretty good job explaining things, and I could cut through, because I see these tutorials that are 10 minutes, and I'm you could describe this in 35 seconds to anybody that kind of knows what they're doing. And most people that are searching for tutorials kind of already know what they're doing. So I might still do that, but I think it's going to be more about the ambient of being a creative, as far as productivity and maybe networking and that kind of stuff, and the life hacks for creators, in a way of just not so much of 10 things you could do to your lens to make cool shots, because it's fuck, who cares if your movie's boring? You can have all the cool shots you want, it's still gonna be a piece of shit. But it's what are some tactics to, help you get your first job, to make stuff that doesn't suck. Like, what can you do for that? So that kind of stuff. I want to make some more noise ASMR. I feel like a big part of my viewer count every month on this channel is just the non-talking videos I've made years back. There's one in particular, like there's a styrofoam one that I think is my top video every month. But I'll probably put those on the white noise channel just because I feel like that's a little neater. And then this can just be like, look, here's a dipshit that whispers a lot. And you can fucking follow him and learn about his stupid life. And how much he loves Sevia. Sevia, send me some shit. Anyway. Not sponsored. Hashtag not in ad. So I make 500 pieces of content, which, sounds like a lot, and it probably is, but these numbers are supposed to be, like, scary and hard. So in that respect, maybe getting my debt to half might not be scary enough. Should be scarier. More scary. Anyway, onto the health side of things. I want to do 1,000 miles on bikes. Now, this has been a white whale goal of mine for a number of years. And 500 pieces of content has also kind of been a white whale goal. These two are the big ones. This year I've done like 500 some miles. It's just like, it's like 3 miles a day. It's not that, it takes like 10 minutes, but like, I just don't make time for it. I need to make more time for it. Find my face camera. Just losing focus there for a second. So yeah, just trying to be healthier, get those daily habits, it's like 20 miles a week. So it's like once a week, do a 20-mile bike ride. Takes like 2 hours. No big deal. On to that, there's 2 more. These are hockey goals. A lot of times people will make goals like, I want to score, X number of goals in beer league, and it's like, that's not realistic. You can't really control your results. You can only really control your effort. So to like that end, I want to spend 100 hours off ice working on my hockey skills, specifically, not just working out for hockey, but like hockey specific skills, so stick handling and shooting. And then I want to spend 100 hours on the ice. And since I'll be working at an ice rink for most of January, I think I'll be able to bap in some hours. I'll be able to log in some hours pretty quick. And then after that, it's just like once or twice a week, which should be pretty easy to hit. Even getting hurt, I think this goal, I can knock it out. So maybe I'll make that goal 200 hours, which would be really ambitious, which would be at 4 hours a week. And if I was skating 4 hours a week, I think I could get pretty healthy pretty quick. But that's also like maybe not the most realistic. If I have a month in January to get all the free ice I want, I could conceivably get, 10, 15, maybe 20 hours in there. But it's an outdoor rink, it's cold. So it'd be a half hour at a time. So 10 hours would probably be a good amount there. And then I'd probably still be playing, once or twice a week in pickup games and beer league. So that could be a doable number. So those are those 2. Then I mentioned that I got some woodworking tools. It's just a saw, a drill, and an impact driver right now. But then I want to get like a sander and maybe a jigsaw or a miter saw or something, and then I want to do an amount of woodworking projects, which I might do some like woodworking ASMR. I'm not totally sure what that would be. Just like maybe some sanding sounds could be fun. And then I think I'm going to do 12, try to do 12 woodworking projects. I know the first one I want to do, the bear's getting old. He's a gooby, but he's getting old, so he's having trouble like jumping on the bed. So I'm going to build him, not pet stairs, but like, I just call it a launch pad, which would just be like a foot or 2, kind of like, it's like a step that he can just hop on and then hop on the bed. So just shorten that distance that he has to jump. Because I don't know if they'll use stairs. And, that might be a future woodworking project, just to make some dog stairs, because that could be a fun thing. And then, like, some shelves, try that. Maybe some drawers, some bookcases, so, that kind of stuff I think could be fun. That's kind of where I'm going with that. I think it'd also be cool to make some small things that might be like sellable that I can make a couple bucks on, or at least break even on. And then, go from there, kind of build my skill set and kind of have this side hustle to photography and video and all that stuff. And, if you can make like $200 a month, working one weekend, like that's not bad because you're just working by yourself in your garage. Like, I'll work for less money for myself with like no stress. Like that's, I can, ooh, fuck, that was loud. I can fuck with that all day. Like, I'd rather work for myself for like $2-3 an hour than to work for like shitty clients. It's just kind of how it is. But I do pretty good with clients, so it just, it's nice to have something to be able to count on, something else, especially when like you're feeling burned out. I'm gonna read 50 books, which could also go back into content. Just talk about books that I read. And then I want to watch 365 movies, which I've done once before, and I've failed that 2 or 3 times before. So I know that's a tough one, but the big thing is that will get me off the internet. It will give me something to talk about, because on my White Noise channel I do some ASMR whispering, I do movie reviews, and then I have a movie review YouTube channel, which I really haven't fucked with that much. But, again, if I watch 365 movies and I make an ASMR movie review or an actual movie review, that's 300 some pieces of content right there. Boom. And then lastly, I want to take my dog to the park 50 times, because he loves going to the park, and this year we did not do it at all. I think we went 10 times maybe. And he's a good guy, and he's getting old, so I want him to have a good life and enjoy his time here. And there's definitely some mental health benefits to going to the park and getting off the internet, just kind of being around nature, I think the Japanese call it tree bathing, and they recommend you do it pretty frequently. So 50 times, once a week. Hopefully maybe we get some more than that, but Nebraska weather can be kind of all over the place. So, the nice days are not super common, but when it's nice, it's really nice here. But, we can get really shitty and cold and windy and nasty, so. Anyway, those are the goals. And then I have some, what I'm calling feats of strength, which are kind of just goals that are something to do, that it's hard to quantify the journey. It's not just do X number of Y, but this one is actually results based, which I know I said earlier you're not supposed to do results based, but these are results that I know I can do if I work at them. So the first one is to do overhead press with a 32 kilogram kettlebell, which I've done once before with my right arm, but I've never done it with my left. 32 kilograms is 70 pounds, so 70 pounds in each arm, straight overhead. Just kind of strict press overhead, which could be, I think that's a lofty goal, but I've done it before. And I see a path for how to get to it. There's a guy on YouTube named Mark Wildman. I like him a lot. If you need fitness advice, you want to get going for the new year, look up Mark Wildman. Start now. Why fucking wait? Get yourself a kettlebell, get yourself a club, get yourself a mace. That's really all you fucking need. You can get an adjustable kettlebell from Kettlebell Kings for $300. Titan Fitness has one too. That's a little cheaper. It's $250. I don't know which one's better. A lot of people like the Kettlebell Kings one. A lot of people like the Titan Fitness one. Your miles, whatever. Just pick one. And I don't think they make that big of a difference. They look like it's the exact same system, because that's what Titan Fitness just copies shit. So the Kettlebell Kings one is probably better, if I had to guess, because they're a little more nuanced, whereas Titan Fitness just sees things and copies it. And I suppose they try to make things better, but I don't know. I'll just say that. Then there's a program called Simple and Sinister, which is just swings and Turkish get-ups. I want to be able to complete that, which is kind of like the program is the test, in that you're supposed to be able to do 100 swings, one-arm swings in 5 minutes, and then 10 get-ups, Turkish get-ups in 10 minutes, which, it's a 15-minute test, but it's pretty hard. I want to be able to do it with a 24 kilogram bell, which is, that's 53 pounds, roughly. I think right now I'm using a 12 kilogram kettlebell, and it like my back's still like I don't like this. So it'll take some time, but I think I'm kind of zoning in on what my actual problems are and what I need to fix. So there's that. I want to be able to do one unassisted pull-up, which is why I bought this pull-up bar. Where's it? There it is. You can see the frame just barely there. I don't care what variation, underhand, overhand, as long as nothing is helping me get my chin over the bar, and I can do it. Boom, good. Then the 10,000 swing challenge, which is just doing 10,000 kettlebell swings within 1 month. So it's like 20 workouts of 500 is what a lot of people do. Other people do it every day, which is like 325 or something like that, and then 1 day of like a little extra. So that'll probably be towards the end of the year, realistically, because it's gonna take time to build that back up. And then there's 3 more goals that I'm like real iffy about. I'm pretty sure I have some form of anxiety, depression, or ADHD, or some fun cocktail of the 3 of them. And every time I see memes about that stuff, where it's like, like I check every single fucking box, like every time. I'm like, yeah, yep. Like this all sounds familiar. So going to see a therapist, kind of getting diagnosed with all that stuff, and figuring out kind of what that means, and how I can kind of structure my life better to accommodate for those things, and get on the path towards a little better mental space. And then coincidentally with all that, I am super terrified of the fucking dentist, and consequently I've not been in a long time, and I need to go. Not that I'm in like pain in my mouth, but like I know shit's not right in there. Like there's some stuff that's gotta be fucked up by this point, because it's been years. Like I brush my teeth, I floss every day. I floss more than once a day. So I got, I floss sticks in my car. Got that water flosser. I pop that water. Half the time I take a piss, I'll go get the water flosser and jam that in there for 5 seconds. Keep hitting this fucking mic, Jesus. I've been saying the F word a lot towards the end. Or whatever. If you're gonna cuss, you gotta cuss towards the end, right? Because YouTube doesn't watch this far. They got better shit to do. But yeah, I need to go to the dentist. Because I know the longer I wait, the worse it's gonna get. And I've already waited a really long time. And before, the last time I went, it probably was a long time. So, like, better to go before something in my mouth kills me with an infection. I don't know, stuff. You can see things and it gets in your head and you're like, oh, I gotta go to the dentist. And you're like, I don't want to make the call because I'm terrified of it. So those are the goals. That's it. What do you think? Do you have goals? What are your goals? Write them down. Put them in the comments. Let's talk. Let's chew the fat. Do you need help coming up with some goals? What do you want to do in your life? Where do you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Think about that and kind of work backwards of like, okay, if I want to be here in 3 years, what do I need to accomplish this next year? And it's, if you want to like start a YouTube channel, like fuck, just start one. Like just make a video about fucking anything and put it on the internet. And congratulations, you're a YouTuber. And from there, just be like, how do I make that better? If you want to be a runner, start running. Maybe try to accumulate. Is 10,000 miles a lot? I don't know. That sounds doable for a year. Actually, that doesn't sound. That's like 1,000 a month. That's really high. Maybe 5,000 miles then. That still sounds kind of high. I don't know how much runners run. Don't ask me. Maybe it's if you want to, be in a different career, find 10 people you can fucking network with, find 5 books about the career change, read those books, apply for jobs, get going towards that. Certifications, what do you need? Like, let's chew the fat. Where do you want to be 3, 5, 10 years? And I'll help you. Just drop a comment. I fucking talk about goals all fucking day. I love this shit. It gets me excited. And I'm excited for next year because the last 2 years have been fucking dog shit. And I'm not going to let a third year be dog shit. I'm not going to let 3 years in a row be dog shit. Because that's 3 years. At this point, it's like 10% of my life was dog shit. And more than 10% of my life has already been dog shit. So we're going this shit. Whatever happens with the pandemic, I could do all this shit. Maybe, probably. The money stuff might be tough, but I can make shit if I'm locked in this fucking apartment. I can make shit in this room. And I can do hockey shit in this room. Probably can't get on the ice, but if that happens, we'll adjust that goal. No big deal. There'll be outdoor rinks. We'll just get on the ice a bunch in January. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I hope you're doing well, and if not, well, I hope that turns around for you real soon. And if you want to turn around, just write down your goals and let's talk about them. And then let's spend the next 2-3 weeks here, whatever we got left in this fucking stupid year, and let's set up our fucking battle stations. Let's get whatever we need, whatever resources. Take those 3 weeks to make that fucking battle plan. Build out your fucking battle station where you're gonna fucking do the work. And let's get shit done. Right? Yes, ASMR Bully is back, and we're